When life becomes an endless race, even winning can start to feel exhausting. Have you ever felt like no matter what you achieve, you're still running, never quite reaching that enough? Today I'm going to unpack the trap that keeps most of us on a never-ending race. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Madam Chomzi, a returnee who spent years in the UK before coming back to Nigeria. Today I would like to share my personal observations about life in the West, more specific, the UK. One thing that surprised me when I was living in the UK was that people that looked financially comfortable still seemed deeply stressed. It was as if stability itself kept moving further away. The more you earn, the more expensive your life became, and the harder it felt to stop. Sometimes life in the West can feel psychologically similar to addiction. Not in the literal sense, but in the pattern. You get a pay rise, a better house, a nicer car, and for a moment it feels amazing. Then you adapt. What once felt like success becomes normal, and suddenly you're chasing the next level. Almost like needing a stronger dose just to feel the same satisfaction. I think one thing most immigrants eventually notice about the West is what I call the rat race. Maybe underneath that rat race is something deeper, the hedonic treadmill. You work hard, earn more, upgrade your life, and somehow, after a while, the new normal stops feeling special. So you run harder, and that finish line called enough keeps moving. The rat race in the West is partly psychological. You think more money will finally make life more settled. Then you get there, and suddenly that amount is no longer enough. The goalpost moves. The hedonic treadmill is when your normal keeps changing. It's the trap of always chasing the next thing, but never feeling satisfied for long. Let me just explain this. You know, when you want something so desperately, maybe it's a better paying job, a new car, a promotion, a bigger house, or even moving abroad. And you tell yourself, once I get there, or once I get this thing, I would finally be happy. Then you get it. At first you're excited. You feel on top of the world, but after some time, it becomes normal. The excitement fades. Now, suddenly what feels like success no longer feels enough. And your mind quietly moves the goalpost. Now you want something bigger, something newer, something better. That is the hedonic treadmill. It's like running on a treadmill in the gym. Moving, you're sweating, you're putting in effort, but somehow you never feel like you've arrived. Because every time you reach one level, your expectations rise. You finally buy the phone you've always wanted. You're all excited. You're careful with it. You admire it. Then after a while, maybe 2 weeks, it becomes just a phone. Now you're already looking at the newer model. You prayed for a salary of 2K a month. When I mean 2K, I mean pounds or dollars. And you finally get it, you feel rich. Then your lifestyle changes. Better apartment, car payment, nicer holidays. Suddenly 2K doesn't feel enough anymore. Now you're chasing 3K or 4K. Then 5K, 7K. Not because you're greedy necessarily, but because your lifestyle quietly expanded. And this is where the hedonic treadmill quietly becomes the rat race. The West did not invent ambition, but the system makes endless chasing feel normal. The problem is not wanting better. The problem is when better never feels enough. Sometimes you don't even realize you're on the treadmill until you step off it. For me, returning to Nigeria made me question things that I once thought were normal. The hedonic treadmill is what fuels the rat race in the West. The endless cycle of chasing more money, status, bigger houses, better car, bigger cars, promotions, experiences, consumptions, yet never feeling satisfied. And this becomes especially visible when you step away from it. The hedonic treadmill mindset can negatively affect your mental well-being. It can contribute to stress, anxiety, burnout, dissatisfaction, and even loneliness. A society where people earn more than ever, yet feel more anxious, lonely, and exhausted. Because when you're constantly chasing the next level, it can affect your mental well-being. Think about it. If happiness is tied to the next thing, the next house, the next salary, the next promotion, the next country, then peace becomes delayed. You're always living emotionally in the future. You tell yourself, I'll relax when I get there, but there keeps moving. So instead of feeling fulfilled, many people feel exhausted, stressed, burnt out, sometimes lonely, because life quietly becomes about surviving and achieving rather than actually living. Now, to be fair, this is not only a Western problem. When I look at Nigeria, we have it, but it's different. Yes, we have ambition, we have hustle, but we also have a richness in community. People often find contentment in what they have, in family, in shared experiences, in spirituality. So while the rat race does exist, there's also this alternative where fulfillment comes from something deeper, something beyond the next purchase or status symbol. Here, I see another side, a life where community, simplicity, and resilience thrive. Community grants us, it gives us a sense of belonging, of being seen and understood. And deeper fulfillment often comes from things like friendship, purpose, creativity, or contributing to something that is bigger than ourselves. It's these connections and meaning that over time gives lives a deeper satisfaction, far beyond what any purchase can ever provide. As I said before, human beings anywhere in the world can fall into this hedonic treadmill and rat race trap. But in the West, it's the system does amplify it. Everything pushes you to upgrade. Constant bombardments of adverts, always pushing the latest gadgets, the trendiest car, or the bigger home, keeps you locked in this cycle. It's like no matter what you have, there's always this new latest waiting to replace it, keeping us always chasing and never quite satisfied. In the West, the system is built around credit, so you don't even need cash up front. This easy access to loans and credit cards push people into buying things they can't really afford, keeping them on a treadmill of debt and constant striving. And social media is another problem. It doesn't help. Constantly comparing yourself to people who seem to be doing better. In many Western countries, money quietly shifts from being about survival to being about maintaining a lifestyle, and the north line keeps moving. Many people in the West, like the US, the UK, Canada, they feel this, but they struggle to explain it. Lifestyle inflation appears to be seen as normal. So when your income increases, the expenses increases automatically. The strange thing is that the person earning 30K feels pressure. So also does the person that earns 100K. They also feel pressure. Sometimes people are earning more than ever, but they also feel emotionally empty. Because success without community can surprisingly feel lonely. You can have comfort and still feel disconnected. You can have convenience and still feel mentally drained. When life becomes an endless race, even winning can start to feel exhausting. I started wondering whether modern life in the West is training people to constantly chase the next high. Not drugs, but achievements, money, upgrades, status. Because the moment you arrive somewhere, the feelings fade and another target appears. Being on the hedonic treadmill means that we pursue new achievements, possessions, but our happiness resets each time. The hedonic treadmill fuels the rat race, the constant competition for the bigger, the better life that's become like a culture in the West. Every promotion or purchase pushes us further into debt and longing. And then, even when surrounded by wealth, we can also even still feel isolated. What if the biggest luxury isn't earning enough, but finally knowing what enough feels like? The constant chasing, the pressure, the isolation, the comparison, and lifestyle inflation can take a toll on our mental health. Do you think that the West is trapped in a hedonic treadmill, or do you think that Nigeria has its own version of the rat race? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much if you've watched to this point. Please, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly consider doing so. Like, share my videos, and click on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.